How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the PIxelated Thoughts Podcast. I'm here with Chibi, Brad, and Jack, and today we were going to talk about, what was that Netflix show, Brad? What was it called?
Twilight of the Gods.
That was a Tower of the Gods.
Tower of the Gods.
What?
You watched something completely different.
No. What was
Twilight of the Gods.
What?
Nobody can come to consensus.
It was something. We were going to watch it, but it took
It
2
was
weeks.
something.
I forgot about it. I'm not going to lie after watching it. So today instead, we're going to do something kind of fun. We're going to go ahead and talk about our backlogs because we are getting into the end of the year. We will do a Game of the Year podcast episode, but I do want to talk about some of the games that we've had in our backlogs, and some of those have been here for quite a while. Brad is probably... No, I would say like me and Brad are probably like the biggest offenders because we go on Steam sales and buy shit and then we never touch it again. We're like, what is this?
I have like the biggest I have like the highest tier on Humble Bundle. I basically had a perpetual Humble Bundle subscription for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now. And so every month I get like 10 games. So 100 games a year for $100.
That's not that bad. You're just never going to touch any of them.
Yeah. Of course.
And as it pertains to the backlog, like everyone has one, right? We all have our various reasons for not playing them. Sometimes I think certain content creators are just like too busy streamers. Jack, I remember like a couple weeks ago, we were talking about the Outlast trials when Brad had this great clutch that's not on footage anymore. But I gave you the choice. I said 10 gift subs or Silent Hill 2. And you literally went 10 gift subs because I will never play Silent Hill 2.
I probably won't get to it.
And that's completely fine. So I think I'm going to start with Chibi. Now, I'm going to define the backlog as like a game you either looked at, never touched, or a game you've started a bit, like an hour, a couple hours, and then never went back to. So Chibi, give me a game in your backlog right now that you will go back to play. It's guaranteed.
That I will not or will?
Will play.
I feel like this is harder for me because I don't play a lot of different games like you guys do.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of my games are like multiplayer games. If I have to think of one, it's Elden Ring. Like Elden Ring is my backlog game that like I've been supposed to be doing for like one of my sub goals. And it's been like months and I think I have maybe like 6 hours in the game. Like
yeah, which essentially is like nowhere because
yeah, like I don't even think I've even done in like a mini boss, you know.
I think me and Jack got through 2 bosses, right?
Yeah.
I mean that's a tough game to play solo, and then on top of that,
it's not my type.
Yeah, if you've never played it before, really tough game to play, and then on top of that, your chat kind of fucked you over with the way they wanted you to play your character, which was like the wretch level 1. And then just slowly leveling up like that. If you've never played it, you're pretty much putting yourself on like the highest difficulty possible.
Yeah, and it's a hard grind like on stream. I don't mind grinding like off stream, but like on stream it gets so tedious sometimes it's like not fun to actually play. So that's kind of like where I ran into the disconnect.
That makes sense. That's a good game to play, by the way, if you have time. But I'm pretty sure Colby wants you to play that game, but he also he's probably not gonna help you.
No, this guy has been making me play Deadlock like every night.
I still don't know how to get access to that. You guys,
I will send it to you. Let me do it right now. I can actually. It's one of those where you just invite people to play, and then I think you get a code within like an hour or two.
It's a beta, right?
But it's pretty fun.
That's good. Okay, Jack.
Yeah, that's the only one I can think of for me.
Jack, I want to know.
I have a few games.
Pull them up, baby. Tell me what they are. Tell me what.
So I have Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay, that's true. Me too on that one.
Yeah,
actually.
I have Red Dead.
Hold on, Chibi. You have like, you're in Act 2 though, right?
Yeah.
I think that one.
Yeah, we haven't even made it to that yet.
I still consider it backlog because like when I play those types of games, I invest a long time in them, like easily like 200 hours.
Okay.
And like I feel like I haven't even touched it, even in Act 2, like just haven't touched it.
Okay. All right. Jack, continue, sir. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Baldur's Gate 3, Red Dead Redemption: The Story.
The first one or the second one?
Second one.
And the first one just came out on PC for those who don't know. Just dropped. It's been how
What
many
else?
years? Like 20 years.
Yeah,
The
it's been a
first one
long
came
time.
out.
The Witcher 3. I have that, but I haven't played it.
Okay. And hold on,
Um,
you're 100% sure you're going to play those games.
at some point.
I'm going to look at them, Ken. Right, I'll be on my deathbed. You know what? Let me get back on Rocket League.
Let me
Yeah.
pull up a playthrough, double speed.
Witcher 3 is probably unlikely compared to Baldur's Gate 3
Right.
and Red Dead. But I've played maybe 2 hours of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
Baldur's Gate 3, what? We're just at Act 2?
You
I
guys
think we're at Act. We're just getting ready to start Act 2.
I think you and Brad did all of Act 1, like the entire thing.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I mean, I think the common factor here is that you're looking at games that you have to invest hundreds of hours in to actually
Yes.
get through.
Yeah.
All right. Brad, look, I know you got like 10 of them. Give me 5 at least. I have. If you don't bring this one up, I will bring it up. There's one.
Yeah.
I know.
So, wait 1 second. So in my Steam library, I have 1,152 games,
Jesus.
1,096 DLCs, and 197 on my wish list. So I really have a lot to choose from because I have probably beat, I don't know, 100 of those games. I think I've only completed like 100%, probably 3 of those games. That's not including what's on my Xbox, what's on my PlayStation, what's on my Switch, all my retro games that I have on several handhelds. But probably my most thought about game, like series of games, obviously Final Fantasy, and it's the 13 series, Final Fantasy 13, right?
My
I played through most of 13. I actually never finished it. It's
I thought you beat
now
it.
it's the only one I haven't beat out of the main series, and I still do want to play the second and third ones.
That's very shocking that you have not beaten Final Fantasy 13. I'm shocked.
It's crazy though. I fucking love Final Fantasy 13 too, and a lot of people hate that one. I loved that one.
13-2? 13-2 is not.
Yes.
13-2 is fine. 13-3
I
is like
loved,
where it kind of goes
yeah,
really fucking
no,
weird.
13-3, 13-2 was amazing. So I hope Brad actually plays that
I
one.
love Pokemon, but
nice, thank you.
it's,
Me too.
Pokemons.
that's the big one for me. We actually spoke about this one very shortly before we started. Final Fantasy 14. I have been subscribed to that since day one. Well, there was a good break there in the middle.
Chill, you weren't there before fucking A Realm Reborn was out, dude. When it first dropped in its shitty state where it was getting like 1.0s for reviews and stuff like that. Yeah, that was bad.
I have beat the main story quest, the original Realm Reborn, probably 7 times. I have made it through the first expansion twice.
It's the worst part of that fucking game. Why would you do that?
Because I usually convince someone to play the game, and so I create a new character and play through the main storyline with them up until that point, and then obviously no one continues playing for that long before they disappear.
So much.
I have beat Heaven's Ward.
Oh, really?
Twice, and I am on with my most recent character. I'm on the next expansion, which is the second one. Whatever, I'm blanking on the name of it now.
I know what you're talking about. Stormblood.
Stormblood. Thank you. I'm halfway. I say halfway. I don't know exactly where I'm at, but I am playing through it slowly but surely. I will eventually get to Endwalker eventually.
It's probably the best DLC of the bunch. The one that matters.
Let's see. I had another one on my list that I really wanted to mention.
It better be Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah, no, I mean I did probably put 20 hours into that one.
Did you?
But I noticed that they were making a bunch of updates and they were making them quite frequently. So I was like, you know what? If they're going to optimize or if they're going to, release stuff, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to, because I loved the first game. The first game was amazing. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to try to experience the whole game as a kind of a completed package. So I kind of paused. It's still on the backlog, but yeah, that is one Dang it! I had another one.
This man's got a fucking real list of games.
Yeah.
I do. So I have like dynamic libraries in my Steam library, and sometimes like, okay, I want to play like a game from this list, and I have like a list of like, JRPGs. Oh, that's what it was. Persona. Okay, so now that I'm playing through Metaphor, um, I have never really given Persona games a chance. I have played three,
Hmm.
probably the most out of any of them. Um, I actually had it on the Vita.
Oh,
I think it was on the Vita.
Golden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That was a
played it
good
for a
one.
little bit. But as a handheld, it just like I'm not going to
Yeah,
sit there for 8 hours playing on
Yeah, the
a
the the
handheld.
can't relate.
handheld mobile versions are like really watered down and they kind of take away from the experience. They really do. Like I
I
remember
love
I
the
think
Golden
Xbox
though
Game
on
Pass
the.
had Persona 3 like the actual handheld one
Yeah.
and I was playing and I was like I hate this. I don't why would I want to play this and then Reload came out. I was going to shoot that over to
Oh
back
yeah,
Chibi like Chibi did you beat Persona 3 Reload? That's part of the
that's one that's.
backlog.
Would you? But I've put a lot of hours into that one though.
How much?
I think like 70.
Damn, girl, you like at the end. What the fuck?
Yeah, I am. I'm literally at the end. But that's the thing. It's like I've been like playing here and there, like grinding, but like I'm in December. Like I'm almost there.
I think the shock for me is that like Brad likes metaphor. I did not expect that.
It looks
Well,
so
and
good.
so
That's one I want to play so bad.
it's just it's got that old JRPG feel to it. I do like a lot of the. It's a bit more fast paced, right?
Mm.
It's very fluid in and out of combat.
It's practically an evolution of like the Persona formula or the Shin Megami Tensei formula. Pretty much, it's just
Mhm.
like fast as possible. You can optimize like characters. You can swap quickly. Your attacks do a ton of damage. Like it's very fast paced. The only issue I have with the game is that like I think everything is manageable until you get like toward the end. And then there's a because I've beaten the game, but like it requires you to be a certain level to be like really competitive with like the final bosses. Like it is no fucking
Persona
joke.
though.
There's a huge jump in difficulty, I think, in the
It's
last couple
it
dungeons.
so I you're able to see what other people's
Skill
Level.
like
level
Yeah.
is or level.
like yeah, so you can see
Judge
like
it.
where other people that play the game, you can see
Mhm.
where their characters are at in the
Mhm.
quest. And typically I've been about 5 levels higher than everyone else. I did a little bit of grinding at the beginning.
Mhm.
I think I kind of skewed it for a good portion of the game. There's only been one boss fight that just kind of kicked my tail, and it was I think it was just because I wasn't prepared to fight a boss and I had the wrong party out. So and I was forced
Mm.
into the fight and basically was repelling all magic damage, and I had nothing but magic dealers, so I had to like swap, and it was the ice dragon. Spoilers, but that fight I had to restart
Oh,
like
okay.
two times just because like I physically couldn't damage him, and he was just whittling my health away. But outside of that fight, the game's been like pretty easy. I mean, there's been a few fights you have to figure out the gimmick, like you have to figure out kind of how to defeat the boss, but yeah, I think I'm in the very late game now, and
Mhm.
it did jump like 10 levels. It was just like, hey, you're gonna get your ass kicked for a little bit.
Yeah, I was kind of like when the demo came out because they had it literally was like a 6 hour demo, so you
Yeah.
can play through
Oh
the
damn.
entire opening
Mhm.
chapter. And then I was when I was playing through it, I was like, this is a lot. And then I was like, dude, this is actually a lot darker than I expected it to be. And then it just continued to get like really good in terms of like the politics, but it does lighten up a little bit. But it is a far more serious title at times than Persona. Like the way it just kind of like portrays violence like right off the bat. Love that intro. Um, and yeah, it was consistent throughout the entire game. And when I was like, I got a text from Brad. He's like, "Yeah, man, Metaphor's pretty legit." I was like, "You're not gonna play that shit." He's like, "Now I have."
Here
I'm
we
like,
are.
all
I
right.
I tried to beat it before I went on my cruise last week. It didn't happen. I think I put about 55 hours in a little over a week,
That's close.
and I was like, well, I'm just gonna wait. And I, now I'm at like 60, and hopefully I'm kind of getting close. Which I don't think you can max out everyone unless there is just some free time like at the end. I don't see how you actually like max out all the bonds and stuff.
Yeah, no, that's really hard. We'll just leave it at that. But it's actually really difficult to do on your first playthrough. You can do it on your second one. It's pretty
Yeah, that's how like Persona is.
Brad, you have another game in your backlog you want to discuss? Because we do have other. I'm gonna kind of tie in other topics.
I mean, there's Dave the Diver. I actually
Oh,
really
yeah.
enjoyed that game for like a week, and then I just started playing other games.
Game is so good. I love that game.
I hear that one a lot.
That and Dredge.
Yeah,
I don't think I've heard of Dredge.
I actually did play through Dredge on a whim. I think it was on Game Pass or something, and it only takes like 10 hours to beat. But I was like, holy crap, that was actually really enjoyable. I enjoyed that.
yeah, that was like the one. It was like a weird game when I first played it, and I was like, I'll make a video for it. And then I was like, this game's way better. Very cool, like Cthulhu, fucking, tie-in stuff, and it had a good narrative too, which I really liked.
I was super disappointed in the ending though.
Well, you were like, I don't think you got the positive ending, did you?
No. I did not. I didn't realize it. And the problem was I saved it after the point of no return.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, no.
So like I literally just YouTubed like what the actual ending is.
You're like, whatever, bro.
Well, because it just ends. It literally is just like and things happen, and I was like, that's it. Like that's how that ends. So then I googled it, and I was like, no, you have to do this, this, and this. And I was like, oh, I didn't do any of that.
There's
so
like a whole like side quest you have to do.
Yeah.
Crazy. Is that all? You got anything?
Not off the top of my head at the moment. There is some PlayStation games, like exclusive games like Spider-Man. I just started playing the first Spider-Man. So obviously Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2.
Oh yeah. Good lord.
Pretty much all those games. I started playing Horizon Forbidden West. I was so mad. The day I started playing that game, they took it off of PlayStation Plus. I was like, what? I played like 45 minutes. Went to play it the next day, and it was like, you can't access this game.
It's really funny because the remaster for Zero Dawn comes out tomorrow, and they pretty much
that's why they took it out.
Yeah, $10. It's like it pretty much takes all the visuals from Forbidden West and applies it to the original game. Looks really fucking good. I think it's PS5 only. I think like the only game I have in my backlog that like I have like I want to go back to is like Octopath Traveler 2. I haven't
heard of that
I
one.
put 10 hours into this game. I played the first one, beat the first one. Brad knows about this. I put 10 hours in the game and I was like, I'll get back to this. And then just a bunch of shit came out afterwards. I was like, I forgot I played this game, dude. And then because Brad was telling me all about, he's like, yeah, there's all this like updates to it. It's much faster. I think it connects better. I was like, really? Yeah. And I was like, whatever, bro. And I was like, man, you know what? I totally forgot about that fucking game, bro.
I mean, I kind of did the same thing, but I think I did play it a little bit more. And then obviously I went on to other things, and I was like, you know what? Nope, this is a great series. I'm going to beat it. And so I just sat down and grinded it out for basically a week. And
I think mine is like generally RPGs, like Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. Like I'm trying to like constantly go back to that, but it's like chipping away. Though, like those games are really good JRPGs, but they are fucking long. Like the Like a Dragon series is like, I think the first one's like 70 hours. I think the second one, Infinite Wealth, is like 80. And they're all really good. Like it's really fun to play through. It's a cool take on the series because it takes it from like a straight action title to a JRPG. And I'm like, this is great. Like, man, this is fucking long, dude. Like they have the Yakuza series has probably some of the longest cutscenes. They can be up to like 10 to 15 minutes. And I think like at some point it's like Metal Gear Solid. If you guys ever played those, like 5. I think Metal Gear Solid 5 or no, Metal Gear Solid 4 has the longest cutscene ever in a game. It's like an hour and 20 minutes.
What the fuck?
It's a fucking movie, yeah.
That's a fucking movie.
I think it's like at the end of chapter 4, you're like going through this like whole bike scene. It's actually one of the shortest scenes in the game too in terms of action. And then it just goes straight into this long ass cutscene. I'm like, when do I play? When do I pick this back up? What the fuck? But yeah, I just have like a couple. And also the other one's Star Ocean 2, I think. I got to get back to that. I keep chipping away at this game. It came out like the remake, and I was like, man, I got 6 hours into it, and I'm like,
it looks great. I have yet to play
it. It is fucking cool, man. It's just like I'm like, god damn it, there's all these other games coming out. That's like my biggest fear with like Dragon Age the Veilguard coming out tomorrow. Is that I'm like, I have it, I pre-ordered it, I've been looking forward to this game. I'm gonna do a video on it. I think if I do a video, then like I can guarantee I'm going to actually like play it through.
Hmm.
But it's one of those things like if I don't do a video on it, I'm just like, we'll get to you, friend.
Eventually.
Just stay here. So is there a game in your backlog that you want to play but don't have time for? I got one, and I think if Chris heard me say this, he'd probably get pissed at me. It's I think it's Batman Arkham Origins.
Mm.
I have that in my back, dude. I have it. I just have never touched it. And like, I love the Arkham series too. I love Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Knight. Love all three of them. I've actually played like one of the VR Arkham titles. Love that shit. Arkham Origins, have it, never touched. I do not know why I will not go to it. It's like my brain's
it's not
like
your priority.
It's not. And like the thing is like
Yeah.
if a game is like a certain, even if it's on sale and if it's like years old, I'll look at it and be like, one day, and then I'll never get and then I will never touch it and I'll just forget about it. Does anyone have a game like that? Where it's like you see it
That's
and you're just
me.
like, ugh.
That's me with Inquisition. So I've actually never beat Inquisition. Yeah, I know,
Oh wow.
crazy. No, literally. And I loved that game, but there was something, I think I was like moving from like college, like I had just graduated and like moving into like my adult life. And I just didn't have time to play it. Like I made my PC and then never touched my console games again. And it was one of those things I think about all the time. And I'm like, eh, I'll never actually know the ending.
That's shocking. Because I
I
think
know.
I think like it was crazy because if you've never played the Dragon Age games, guys, like Dragon Age 1 or Dragon Age Origins, classic. People love that game.
Hmm.
Dragon Age
But way
2,
too much
some
hours.
people love it. It divided the fan base. Some people
I
adore that game,
love
right?
Dragon Age 2 so much.
And then some people are like, you know, it's okay. It's not
Yeah.
strategic. And then Inquisition was like, we're back to strategy, but it's a little bit more dynamic. Like you're a little bit more
Mhm.
active and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And then the Veilguard is DA2 essentially. You're
Oh,
you're
so
directly in
excited.
control of like the character.
So excited.
Oh,
First
that's-
person. Crazy. Yeah.
That would be the biggest fucking weird thing. Jack, you got a game that you're 100%
Yeah, I got a
probably not gonna
couple.
touch? Oh, give it to me.
I have Arkham City. I did play that for a little bit, and then I kind of ran into the same situation where it's like I got caught up in other things, and I really enjoyed the combat system in it, and I think I got to a point where I got stuck. It was just
Mm.
after fighting Joker, and I didn't know what to do. So when I get to that point, and I just stopped and never got back to it. But I also bought the Fear games.
Ooh, Humble Bundle? Or did you buy it on
Mm-hmm.
Steam? Yeah.
It was a humble bundle. I bought all the Fear games, and then I never played them,
Dude, I'm
and I
telling
don't
you,
know if I will.
I'm telling you, man, it's crazy. I remember when Fear first came out, that game used to break people's PCs. That
Oh,
game was like,
really?
oh, dude, it was like a way ahead of its times in terms of like its visuals, the way it played. I mean, it's very obviously it's like 2005, so it's not gonna look
Right,
great
right.
now. But the fall off from like Fear to Fear 2. Oh no, I think Fear 2 is okay. The fall off from Fear to Fear 3, like when you go through the series, is like you either love Fear 3 or you fucking despise that game with all your being. It got
Yeah.
it once again, it's kind of a weird thing because if you go into like the 2000s, right, with gaming, you go from like this point where like it feels like we hit the PS3, Xbox 360 era and everyone wants to be edgy as shit. And everything is like that ugly, like gray, brownish tone. You know what I mean? That's essentially what Fear did. They're like, let's just make it like a really dark Matrix-like shooter, and then we'll extend that to the second game. We'll have some horror elements to it, and then it goes to 3. It's like, let's make it co-op, and then you guys can shoot each other, and that's all right. And I'm like, makes sense.
Yeah,
Brad,
I don't think I've played Fear before. A long time ago, back when Condemned was a game too.
Condemned is fantastic.
Yeah, I loved Condemned. But I don't know if I'll ever have the time for it or the motivation to play it.
It's harder to kind of go back to some of the retro games that you don't have an attachment to.
Yeah.
You know, like there are some games I think like if it's an old JRPG and you recommend it and it's something I look into and I'm like, you know, I'll play it. But that's like a casual game. I think with Fear, I think you can beat the game now. You'd be surprised how short some of these games are. I mean, you might be able to beat it like in under 6 hours.
Probably.
Yeah, because like you're like, oh, what was like really cool back in the day? You're like, oh, this is such a unique control scheme. Is like really normal today. It's like Black Ops 6 with all the sliding and omnidirectional movement.
Oh my god.
Which, by the way, like if you played Black Ops 6, I want to know what people think about that game.
I was gonna ask you
because
guys, how was it?
so like
It's
I it's really fun like I would say sometimes, like, but it was really funny. We played hardcore. It was it was me, Brad, Josh, and Chris.
How'd you see Brad?
And there was a moment where this guy literally slid up behind us. He like came
Mhm.
out. I think he shot Jack first, and then he shot another guy. And then slid, shot me, spun around, slid, and shot another guy, and then walked up to Brad and shot him in the back. I was like,
Fuck.
I was like, what the fuck are we doing in this game,
Yeah.
dude? But it's
yeah,
also
the movement in this game is a lot different than the
It's-
previous games.
It's also really fun though when you see someone like dive out of a window thinking they're gonna get like a trick
Yeah.
shot and you just shoot them in the head. And you're like moving on. Like that stuff is really fun. But Jack yesterday would have like moments of like elation, like I'm on this fucking kill streak, to like what am I doing with my life?
Poor Jack.
Why do I hate
The
myself?
duality of man.
He's like,
Yeah.
I was like, let's play zombies instead. So that's what he went straight.
I do enjoy the auto canter that they added into it.
Oh yeah,
So
that
you don't
is
have to do it yourself.
super cool. I do like that. They do. I mean, I think like it's kind of like, once again, like the biggest problems is probably like the maps. They're, I don't know. You would think
They're
that,
condensed.
yeah, they're really. You have some that are
Mhm.
really wide spread out, and you're like, this is like a fucking 20-player map that they're putting fucking 12 people on, and you're not seeing anybody for long stretches. Or we're in a very small area for domination, and we're getting shot sniped as we spawn,
Bro.
or as
Yeah,
Deck was
it-
screaming out the whole time, "Hey guys, can I see? I'm getting flashbanged. Why do you keep throwing something?" It's very frustrating.
yeah,
Like,
there's a map where it's just nothing but grenades and snipes.
and then there's like Brad like getting 64 kills or whatever it was.
I don't fucking know how you're doing it.
I got 39 in that level. I was pretty dope. I was like, yay. I was like,
Yeah, I think the highest I got was like 32.
but like you can kind of tell like it's a very sweaty game. Like, and once again, they don't have skill-based matchmaking, or nothing's like set up correctly.
No, not at all.
I think the series has definitely catered to the content creator. So it's like, hey, we need to make it where we can have people make clips, right? We need the streamers or the YouTubers, whatever. We need to give them as much ammo as possible so we can, just have cool clips out there in the wild
Yeah.
of this game.
But
Screw it for everyone else.
But essentially, Fear walked so that Black Ops 6 could fly at Check's face at Mach speed and shoot him in the head while doing 3 spins in the air and stuff like that.
I never understood. I would get like 30 hit marks on somebody. They turn around and then two-piece me.
Here's where it's bad. If you're getting hit markers in hardcore, like if I'm using the same rifle as you and I'm pretty sure I have like the FMJ on, long barrel, like I should be fucking killing you in a shot. But that shit is so funny because Check's like, I got hit markers. I got hit markers, as if he was like finding gold or something. Brad, what do you think about Black Ops 6? I mean, I will say this though, Chibi. If you just want to play the campaign's really good.
Campaign's not bad. There's a lot of cutscenes in the first part.
Yeah.
Good.
It is definitely
Good.
What it needs.
I would say it's definitely up there with like the best campaigns, which I think like for a lot of people are like, there's not many, but maybe Black Ops 2, Infinite Warfare. I love that cut. I love that one. But yeah, if you want to just play that or Zombies is fun.
Zombies scare me.
Oh yeah.
Should we talk about the match we got into last night?
Which one?
Oh.
No, we should leave that one out.
Wow, I want to know.
We should leave that
We got
one
to
out.
like level 35. We'll say that.
Yeah. We got to level 35. I mean, the good thing is like your progress from Zombies. It's all connected. You get like, if you use a certain weapon in Zombies, you can actually level it up and get your attachments and stuff like that. We don't think that's how people were doing that. But like we were noticing, like, especially Jack was, he was constantly like watching people's kill cams intently. He's like, "What are you shooting me with? Like, what is that? What is
Oh
that
my god!
attachment?"
Yeah, there'll be guns that I'm using, but they're shooting 100,000 rounds per second, and it's like
How you do that.
deadline, no fucking, no recoil, nothing.
you do that?
It's my favorite thing because I played a number of first person shooters with Jack, but like when he gets upset, like he will sit there and like study people. What are you doing? How you get all that?
Do that.
How you get
What
over
you
there?
doing?
That's how I get better.
Brad, is there a game? It's like getting back on topic. Sorry, Brad, is there a game that you have in your backlog you're never gonna go back to?
Oh, that's it. I have a list.
Oh
Drop it.
God,
He said, "Let me
Um,
bring it up."
go for it.
Kingdom Hearts 3. I played about an hour, and that was like 3 years ago. Um,
Fun
I
fact: my wife likes the Kingdom Hearts series. It's like the only video game she's played, and she's
I
beaten almost all of them.
I've beat the first one a few times. I beat the second one once in preparation to play the third one, and I think I just spent too much time on the second one. When I started the third one, I was just like, I need a break, and just
Never went
I'm
back.
still on that break.
Wait, you went like so? Because what was it? The time between 2 and 3 is what, 10 years, right? Maybe 10, 15, maybe
Oh,
longer.
that's a long time.
Jesus. Did you actually go like it's kind of weird because if you have not played the Kingdom Hearts series, so 1 and 2 came out relatively close together, and then they released like a bunch of fucking like other smaller stories and stuff like that, and then 3 comes out 15 years later, right? Ish. And the game, I mean, it plays somewhat the same, but I feel like I would rather just watch the one of those like movies that they have, because I'm just not gonna put myself through some of the harder boss fights in 2, man, and stress myself out. I'm surprised you did that.
Well, so I like day one, I pre-ordered the game, bought the game. I had the Prima guide, like the actual book for it, like how to play the game. Like I played the first one somewhat religiously when it originally came out. I didn't play 2 or 3 until they did all the bundles and
Oh,
put it
okay.
on the PC.
Yeah.
I just kind of forgot about the series. Just never really played them. But when they released everything, I did play Birth by Sleep or
Yeah.
Sleep by Birth,
On the
whatever.
PSP or whatever.
It was on the one I played was on the Game Boy.
Oh,
I played that one, or Game Boy Advance, and I played it on the Game Boy Advance. I don't think I ever beat it. And then obviously they have the updated version in that little combo thing. So I did beat that on there before I played 2, and I played through 2. So that's great. And I was going to play 3, but there was that DS game, the 368 divided by 2 or
yeah,
whatever.
whatever the fuck it was.
I was expecting that to be a game, and I watched like an hour of the cutscenes. I was like, when does this game start? And I realized it's just all the cutscenes from the
I
game.
love Jack's face because he's like 368 divided by 2. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? That is, you can look it up right now, Jack. Look up the
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts games, and you can see all the games they've put in before. Like, I think after 1, they had like, I want to say 3, and then 2, and then there's like 8 to 10, and then it's like they put an entire bundle out
Oh Jesus!
before they came out with 3.
So
There's
like
one person.
Holy crap! There's a lot.
There's one person I know that has played almost every Kingdom Hearts game except he has not beat 3 yet. Is Josh Smith.
Oh.
Our buddy Josh. He has actually played like almost every Kingdom Hearts game, which is fucking insane because he hates like JRPGs and stuff like that. And now he's like a huge weeb because he's now beaten like, I think he's about to beat Persona 3 Reload. I think he's
Damn.
beaten 4. He's like,
As he says he hates JRPGs.
well, no, he's like gotten really hooked into them, which is
That's
weird.
funny.
I'm like,
It's always how it starts.
it's a gateway drug, I guess, you know.
So, what are the differences between the regular ones and the remixes?
Added cutscenes.
Oh.
They sometimes like make updates to some of the bosses, that type of stuff. So what they did was that like this whole fucking franchise is just full of plot holes. And the best
if you were to follow the plot from start to finish, you can go on YouTube, and I think the shortest you can find is about 4.5 hours. If someone was
God.
to explain the story from start to finish,
Yeah.
there is no simple way to explain anything that happens in that game. There is so many like this person is this person, but this person is like the anti-hero of this person, and the darkness is actually the light of
there's a
the
lot
antithesis.
there's a lot of antithesis type stuff going on. Dude, people were theory crafting hard fucking core before 3 came out because they put out that it was like a 2 to 3 hour chapter, I think it was, and then people were like putting pieces together about how the game was gonna finish and stuff like that. And now Kingdom Hearts 4 is gonna, but I mean, Kingdom Hearts 4 is coming out I think like 2-3 years from now. I don't know. But when they announced 3 and they finished it, I was like, there's no fucking way this game ended on a cliffhanger, bro. Like, 2 ended on a cliffhanger. It took 15 years, dude. I was like in high school when 2 came out. I'm an adult when this game dropped. What the fuck, man? But yeah, if you don't want to play the game, just watch the goddamn watch the videos. Don't. It's a great. I really like Kingdom Hearts 3 too. There are some people who fucking hate that game, mainly because there's like real like huge deviations and things that they didn't like in the story because it didn't match their own headcanon or some shit. It was the weirdest thing, man. But there's people are criticizing stuff. What else you got, Brad?
The newer Metal Gear Solid. So 1, 2, and 3. I played through. I beat all of those, and pretty much everything after that has just been. I did play Survive, but I'm not going to talk about that one. But like the main series games,
those are games we played and we'll never go back to. But the thing about like, here's the thing: 4, it cannot be found on anything else but the PS3. Konami is currently working on, I think, getting it on their next bundle because they do have a, I think it's Metal Gear 1 and 2, then Metal Gear Solid 1 through 3. So like they're trying to get the 4 on a bundle finally, and then 5. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do with 5 because like there's an entire thing about that game where it's only 70% complete. Literally, there's like 30% of the story that's missing because they fired Hideo Kojima, and they said, "Fuck it, we're gonna release the game anyway." It's great, but it really is incomplete. I'm shocked though, Brad. No Metal Gear Solid. Huh?
Yeah.
Damn.
He said,
pretty much all of the Resident Evil remasters.
What?
So 2, 3, 4.
We're gonna get through 5 together playing that mod.
Eventually.
What I'm trying to do is trying to get like the games out that I'm playing right now. Then I'm gonna go back to like playing different mods and stuff like that because they really, they were fun to play, fun to make videos for.
Yeah, I've played all of the original Resident Evils, and it's really not my cup of tea. Horror survival is not, unless it's Parasite Eve, but it's a different ball game. But the remasters, if they're in a humble bundle one day and I just happen to own them all, maybe I'll play them.
Those come out in humble bundles a lot, by the way. They're
they like probably do. I probably own half of them and don't know it.
I own all of them. $20, man, for fucking 8 games, dude. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
Can't beat that shit, man.
And then the other one is the Last of Us series.
Fucking piece
I have started the first one. I don't know, probably 6 times.
You fucking piece of shit.
Kenzo, you
don't know what good gaming's like. No.
I like cinematic video games, but there's a limit to just how much cinematic.
You just don't want to be sad. I feel you, brother. It's all right. That's
valid. It is one of the few games that have made me cry. The first time I experienced the intro to the first game.
Oh yeah,
I teared up a bit in that, and I was in an NWR. I was in an NWR Liberty Center.
That's funny.
That's one of the shows I want to watch, but like I want to watch. I have everyone watch like the first episode, and then I want you guys to get back to me and be like, "Yeah, we're not doing this, man." Like, you think I like being sad? Well, Jack's gonna be like, "It's part of my bag, bro. Like, I love this." Like, let me see it again. That part you said that made you cry, I played it 4 times. just kept going. I can recite all the lines.
I think I watched the first episode of the show.
Dude, I fucking love that show. It's fantastic. Eventually, when we get back to going through all the different games, I just wanted to do something that's like really casual, really easy for us to get back into because we haven't done a show in 3 weeks almost. So, is there a game that you guys have played? And I think for me, it's like you played it. You played a couple hours. I have like a couple of those where you're like, this just isn't for me, and you couldn't refund it. Any of that stuff. Is there anything you guys have in mind? Because I have
Ooh.
2. One of them's the Suicide Squad, where we played 3 hours. Man, and I just can't get the refund for that one because like the game is just fucking terrible. And then there was something else I played recently too. What game was it that I just like? I gotta look for it, but there was another game where I played it and I just couldn't. Oh, I think Rainbow Six Siege Extraction. I'm glad that that Ubisoft had that. Shout out to them. I'm never touching it again. That was actually in one of my backlogs too. I actually had that, and I was like, you know what, dude, I want to play this one day. And then I played the alpha test, and I was like, you know what, this was a mistake. This was a
This is
goddamn
not
problem.
good.
Anyone got anything like that where you played it and you're just like, I don't want to do this anymore?
I didn't pay for it because it was part of
I was just
PlayStation
gonna
Plus.
say mine was free, if that counts.
Oh yeah, which one?
It's still not worth it.
You can go ahead first, Brad.
Was it the first Ascendant?
Yeah.
I beat that. But
That was
I
one
know
that
you.
I-
I know you did. This man put a. I played it. It crashed
Yeah.
my PC. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm done with you.
you said you said it earlier. Star Ocean, Divine Force or Divine.
Oh God, dude.
I played about an hour and I was just like, I'm not feeling it. Like the characters look stupid.
Do you have that
That's-
game? You actually bought it?
No, it's on PlayStation Plus, right? That's the only reason why
Okay.
I played the demo, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try. So then I played the PlayStation, and I was like, I may have played it twice. I may have was like the first time just wasn't feeling it. Played it the second time, and I'm like, I don't know. It just it just doesn't do. It just doesn't.
It's not a good game. That's the problem, bro. There you go. I've answered your question. Chibi, what do you got?
It's like smaller games that I just like did not like for example, because Jack mentioned trying to play, what was it, Lockdown Protocol. I did not like that one.
You didn't like that one?
I did not like that one.
Oh, is that the one where you
I
get the little characters or whatever, and you guys are trying to fool
Yeah,
each
the
other?
space suits.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, I played like 2 rounds of it and it was like, this is awful.
Did you get
Oh,
it for
it's
So
that
it's like-
bad.
Did you get it for
I
free?
just did not like it. I
Yeah.
think I got it for
Did you
free.
play it
was like-
solo?
no, I played it with people. I played it with my stream, and
It
I
would
was
been really
just like,
awkward.
Isn't
oh,
it?
I see now.
Plays it
She
by-
was just us.
That'd be weird.
Gullible.
Plays it by herself. He's like, "Hello there, friend." She like picks up another
Talking to myself.
picks up a controller. Hello. It's like, is she
That sounds
fucking?
so
Is she
sad.
fucking crazy?
That just sounds sad.
This is content.
This is content. Don't worry, guys. I'm tricking myself. But yeah, I did not like that one. I forgot about the first Descendant game. Like, you completely just jogged my memory. Yeah, I liked it. I just
Brad is like, it's weird. It's not that it's free. I think that there's a certain formula that he'll like pick up and play, and then he'll just be good with. You know?
So that game in particular, Outriders was the same way. There's something like a power trip in those types of games where there's just a bunch of enemies and you just murder them all just real quickly. You just like obliterate. Just that
waves.
like power trip of just I'm a good player just by sheer force of will
Yeah.
or whatever. Just there's just like that enjoyment of being better than the enemy, and it sustains for a good while. And that's that when I played first Descendant, I beat the campaign or story or whatever.
Right.
And then I played maybe an hour after that, and I'm like, the grind is real in this game. If you don't drop a few $100, it's like I'm done. I'm just like I have won the game in my opinion, so I'm not going to play it anymore.
It's like Black Desert Online. I played an hour and I was like, dude, this is the weirdest, horniest game I've ever fucking played. Game is very awkward.
Every Korean game.
It's also too busy.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's too busy for me, but like it was just like awkward, like very awkward. You know what I mean? It was just one of those things where I was like playing it and I was like, yeah, the whole chat, like, because the chat's like they're just going off and they're saying a bunch of weird shit. I'm like, you guys need to go outside, man.
Touch some grass.
Please.
I didn't care for the like button combos, like to like cast a spell. You had to like hold Shift W, hit Enter, type in fire, and then it would shoot a fireball or whatever. And it was just like, this is way too complicated.
That'd be fireball. I can't type that fast.
My hands are gripping.
My hands.
Macro. Another one that I tried really hard to enjoy this game, but the Star Wars Outlaws. I
was waiting for him. I beat that game and I came away the most fucking disappointed.
I gave up. I
didn't even buy it.
We did. We had.
Dog.
Where? Oh,
he just stuck out his leg. I was like,
we both got Ubisoft Plus, and then we were trying. We were gonna play. We played Avatar, and then we gave up on Avatar. There's nothing wrong with that game, by the way, but it is very much a Ubisoft game. It's very much like open world, a lot of bloat, very pretty, cool. And then like we were just like, yeah, I'm not playing this game again. And then Star Wars Outlaws, I was like, the first opening area is really good, but it's a fucking lie. All of it is like this big mirage because then it becomes incredibly repetitive. The systems that they have in this called the syndicate system. So basically, you have these different syndicates that you get to talk to, and then you can make deals with, and they all dislike each other or whatever. There's no like, it's like Ubisoft like dipped their toes into like doing something dynamic, and then they were like, well, you can be friends with all of them. I'm like, that doesn't fucking make sense. Why would they would know that I'm doing deals with all of them? They should want like to say like, hey, betray them or whatever. And if you do get like into like a negative status with one of them, there's always missions that will help you bring it back up. I'm like, there's no point in this. And then I got to the end and I was like, you had this moment where it felt like they were gonna take like a few leaps to make like a really gritty Star Wars stories like Rogue One, and then it was like a shitty Indiana Jones. Basically, they fucking threw Darth Vader in there for no reason other than shock value. And then on top of that, they had this like twist that you could see coming because the guy who's like your boss, he's the broker. Like you can tell he's gonna betray you. The dude looks like a scumbag. I'm like, you're a bad guy. Like I fucking know that. I'm like, you have like the features, like you look old, you look aged, your eyes are fucking like you have all the bags under your eyes, you look like you're angry all the time. It's like I would never do that, Kay. It's like, yeah, you would, you piece of shit. And then he does it.
Like it.
And you're like, that's not surprising.
Surprise!
Yeah. it was really bad. But yeah, the first Descendant also. I just, I think free to play games for me are just hit or miss, You have to invest a lot of hours into them.
Overwatch, yeah.
Yeah. Diablo 4, I just can't do it.
Diablo.
Ding ding ding.
Jack, what do you have? Do you have a game that like
Yeah, I have a couple.
Which ones?
For the King.
What is
Marvel's event. For the King was I don't even remember what it's about, but I
Actually a
just remember
decent
being
co-op game.
disappointed.
But
Yeah, it's a co-op game. It's a let's see what they listed as. RPG.
What the
It's almost like
It's
a
got
sandbox.
very yeah, I don't know how to explain it.
It's like scenarios and
Yeah, it's turn-based.
Is it new?
No.
there's
Came out 2018.
Oh,
I think
really?
the second one's coming out.
What?
soon. It was an okay game. It got very repetitive very quickly.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a whole lot to it other than you just moving around a map and
Doing the same thing over and over again.
Never seen that. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Marvel's Avengers.
Everyone dropped that, dude.
Yep.
What's really funny about that, Jack, is that they had it on PlayStation Plus. Like they put it on PlayStation Plus, and I remember I picked it up. I played it for the first mission, and I said to myself, like, you know what, this opening mission's not that bad. It's not, and then it quickly was like immediate, like free to play, like type. I was like, you charged me for this? Charged me for some of the shitty story missions? Like, what the fuck, man?
Well, it's really weird because you had like the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, he pulled a Ken. He pulled a Ken.
I got
it.
I got it.
I felt like one they just did bad, one they did good.
Brad, don't damn it. You literally froze. So we have like you
were like
that's gonna be the screenshot, and I'm gonna put like in the background. I'm gonna put all these other games for the backlog and stuff.
I thought you froze.
What else? Road Redemption. It was supposed to be like a remake of Road Rash.
You did not buy that. Did you fucking buy that game?
Game was
I did buy that game because I love Road Rash. I really enjoyed Road Rash, and just like Road Redemption did not bring back that nostalgia.
For those who don't know what Road Rash is, it is a it was like a
I was gonna say
Genesis 3DO type game. So basically, you're a biker and you're fighting off all these gangs while on your bike. It was very simple, very arcadey.
It's a combat racing game.
Yeah, combat racing game. And it was actually,
I always loved picking people off the road.
It was fun. And then Road to Redemption or whatever it is, they brought that game out, and it was a shit show. Like, yeah, they were like, it's in the.
They tried.
That's how they tried to sell it too, by the way. Where it's like, it's the spiritual successor to Road Rash, and I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah,
like,
no, it was nowhere near. What else? Steep. I did enjoy Steep for like the first 2 hours, but then I was like,
It's a Ubisoft game. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like kicking them when they're down because they had to fucking delay Assassin's Creed Shadows, and then on top of that, they removed the early access to it. So the Ubisoft Plus, which added the $100 edition, the Ultimate Edition, gave you 72 hours early access. Gone now. Because Ubisoft's like they're looking to sell, apparently. So, whatever. Anything else?
No, that's about it. I'm sure there's something else, but
Brad said.
Brad has raised his hand. Brad, go ahead, speak for the class.
Pretty much the entire Tales series. I feel like I'm going to play Tale of Rise at some point in my life.
The Tales of series. Okay.
The Tales of series.
Have you never played any of them? Symphonia, Vesperia?
I have played.
I've never played those.
I love them.
Berseria? What was it? Vesteria. I played one of them for a little while. The combat made no sense to me. It was just like I'm pressing buttons and things die before I die.
Why isn't this a turn based? This is bullshit.
It was just really weird that it's like a 2D combat screen.
Yeah,
it's like it's a 3D world, but it's like everyone's running like left and right.
When the first games came out on the PlayStation back in the 90s, I think it was like 95, 96, Tales of Destiny, right? Basically, it was really unique because it was that and Star Ocean that allowed you to freely move around in a very small area and attack enemies and do damage, and then you combo, and then depending on how you do your combo, you can then use what's called an art it's like a special ability, and then it just chains combos together. Back in like the 2000s, after Tales of Symphonia came out, which is by far the most popular title, right? They I think the company just kept spamming new ones out, and they were like hit or miss. Right, they had Zestiria, which like spawned an anime, but I didn't think the game was that good. Vesperia came out for the 360. It's probably one of the best ones on the 360. There's a remake to it. They had all these different games came out, and Tales of Arise came out a couple years ago. And I think it's great. I know a lot of people. I know the fan base, which is super fucking fickle because why not? These people have been around as long as I have. But it's one of those series where it's like it never got its due, but then Tales of Arise sold like a couple million copies, and people were like, holy shit, like this game's not that bad. That's essentially how like a lot of JRPGs has gone. Like Metaphor sold 1 million copies in a week. I think that's faster than any Persona game, like ever.
It looks so good.
It's fucking fantastic, and people were
cannot wait to play.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like I was very surprised about. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't doubt that the Tales series, like you'll probably play like an hour and you're like, but that's like all JRPGs. Like it takes 6 hours to get going into a game.
Yeah.
And then you're like, fucking go, and they're like, no.
No, you gotta.
I have backstory you need to listen to about this old man and his dog and why his dog doesn't want that balloon. It's like, fuck, man. Let's go get that balloon.
You need it.
I will say that is something about Metaphor that just doesn't happen. It's just like, hey, you're on this quest, go do this quest.
Oh shit!
It is very
that
fast.
That game does not fuck around, dude. Like when people were talking about like it taking them like 70 hours, I assume that's because like they were dying a lot to some of the bosses or like fights. But I'm like, dude, this is a brisk ass game. There is like you have like the fact that you can fast travel to pretty much every point you touch in the map, and then you go into your ship, and then you can just fast travel quickly between areas. It just zooming
makes it so speedy.
And you have like when you have your connections and stuff like that, you can just press a button, and then you can see all your connections, and then you can pick the ones that are available for you to talk to.
Damn.
They streamlined the shit out of this game.
And you can teleport to that person.
Yeah. They
said no more 300 hours.
They streamlined the shit out of that game. So it's not like, now I have to go to this part of the school, second floor, all the way in the back.
I would forget. I would forget. So I'd be like, where am I going?
Where the fuck is the janitor's closet, bro?
Where is Mitsuru?
Yeah, it's some fucking weird, obscure ass place. That's essentially what that was. But yeah. I think my last question was is there a game that you like initially picked up, like, and then you put it into your backlog and then came back to and then really enjoyed? For me, it was Monster Hunter World. I remember buying that game when it came out. I played it for 2 hours. I was like, I don't like this game. And I wasn't really a big fan of the other Monster Hunter titles. I left, and then Iceborne came out, which is their major expansion. And then I went, I want to play this game. I feel like I'm missing out, right? Had a little bit of FOMO. I played it, and I was like, this is amazing, and then put 200 hours into the game. That's how that went for me. Is there any game that you guys can think of that did that for you?
Um,
We
I
touched it at
think
first and then pushed it into your backlog and then went back to play it again and loved it.
maybe Hunt Showdown.
Did you not like that when it
Um,
first came out?
I was too intimidated by it. Like it's the menu screen isn't the most intuitive, or when you're choosing your weapons and shit like that. I don't know if you've seen the weapon selection screen.
Oh no, I played a bit of it. Yeah.
Okay. Um, I don't know. It reminded me of, let's see. I didn't know how the game was gonna go for me,
Right.
so I bought it. I opened the screen up. I saw the weapon screen option, the option screen, and then I was like, ah, man, no. And then I went back to it probably about a month ago,
Mhm.
and I've actually been playing it every few
You've been
days
playing
since.
the shit out of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing well too. Like I want to drop into your stream. I was gonna like tell you like if you clutch up, I'll give you some gift subs, but you died almost immediately after. I was like, maybe I should just stop talking.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
not the best. Yeah, the problem I have with it is its matchmaking isn't that great. You can be paired up. You could be in a match lobby with people who are prestige 30 to 100
I think
when you're prestige 1.
I think I played that with Brad and Chris, and like I like the game. It's one of the first like real extraction shooters, but I love the gimmick of like you hunting monsters at the same time. I think that's such a fucking cool thing.
Yeah.
But like the first 10 levels, I think, right? You don't really have a penalty, and then
Yeah.
afterwards you could lose your
Yeah,
character.
you lose your hunter.
And
Yeah.
I think that's intimidating for players who are not used to that type of stuff. But I totally agree. Like I think I wanted to play Hunt when it first came out when I first saw it, and I was like, oh, extraction, I might, but it's fun. But I can
Yeah, it
definitely see
reminded
that.
me of Tarkov, but the difference with
Mm.
Tarkov is when a season for Tarkov starts, you can easily fall behind if you don't keep up.
I think that's kind of true about a lot of like
The
multiplayer
extraction
shooters,
game.
right? Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
shooters. In
Well,
general,
yeah.
But
Oh, especially Black Ops 6.
yeah, we didn't play for like a couple of days, and everyone's like 50. We're like, what is happening? It's
Yeah.
like it's like you're gonna drop in this lobby with these fucking 4 prestige
Oh, there's
players.
people who are like level like 3 prestige already with golden guns and everything.
But that was
What?
that. But that's actually happened in Hunt too. I think that's why I stopped playing. Was like I think me and Chris were going into lobbies, and it was like people like 10 to 15 levels above us, and I was like, dude, it's not fun to get absolutely
So
destroyed.
Well,
there
the
is
nice
like a
Go
I
ahead.
think there is like a skill based matchmaking, but the skill base is literally 1 star to 5 star. And it's like they match you like within a star and a half, which is a drastic portion of the players. And it's like you either murk or you get murked, and it's usually that.
To
Yeah,
mark or
I've
not to
seen.
mark,
I would be
brother.
in match lobbies with people who are 5 stars easily.
It's a game you shouldn't play is like that. It's dark and darker.
I don't think I've
Oh
ever
my
played
I've
that.
watched
God.
Colby play
I
that.
fuck-
That
Oh
shit is
my
crazy.
I fucking hate that game.
Yeah, he got so mad.
Me and Brad. So if you don't know, it's an extraction shooter, but it's like a medieval. It's like a
Mhm.
medieval game.
It's
There's
medieval,
magic.
like
Yeah.
dungeons. Yeah.
So like we played, I think, and I shot Brad in the head with an arrow, like our first game. But we were playing, and like I think like it's our second or third game, we were doing really well, and we were getting to the point of extraction, and then we ran into like dudes who were like level 50, and we're like,
Mhm.
what
Oh,
the
fuck.
fuck? And they had like the most crazy tricked out gear, and they were like two-shotting us. I was like, what's the point of this, dude? Like,
Like summoning like treants in a
Yeah.
cave. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like I have a half broken vase. I'm fighting with like trash.
You're like, whatever.
I'm hitting him with a broom. Stop it.
And he
Stop
transforms
aiming.
into a bear. And I'm like, well, okay then.
Yeah,
Let
and
him
like
go.
they had abilities to like insta heal and shit, and I was like, dude, okay, I
Yeah.
don't want to play this anymore. That's
See,
all
the thing I like about Hunt is it's really all about skill. It's you can loot all the weapons you want, and honestly, the weapons don't have any advantage to any other weapon that you have.
100%.
It's really how well you aim and shoot.
Mm.
Chibi, do you have anything like game you played, did not like at first, came back to, loved?
Really?
No.
I guess like more recently would be Deadlock. Like when it first came out, like the first beta, I played one game with Colby and I was like, I do not like this. This is weird. And then like everyone was like and my immediate friend group was playing it. And I was like, bro, I'm getting FOMO. Like, I'll try this shit again like 2 weeks later. And then I was like, this isn't that bad.
I tried to
It's
get
not
into the
that
beta
bad.
for it, and then yeah. At first, I was like, I didn't know you had to get.
It's not too bad.
I got the invite, by the way, so I'll
Oh, did
probably,
you? Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I'll download it afterwards. But yeah, I mean, like, backlog. Like, I mean, a lot of people. I mean, the interesting thing is that like, it's all I see online. Sometimes people like talk about their backlogs and all the different games that are coming out. And there's like a ton of shit releasing very soon, and like
Yeah.
these last 3 years essentially have been like really big. It's kind of crazy because like there's been so many good like AAA titles, AA titles, and like I was expecting like a lull eventually, but like there's been so many good games that come out of nowhere. Some of them are like free to play. You have like a lot of Metroidvanias that came out, a lot of smaller JRPGs. It's like, dude, everything.
Where do we find time?
Yeah, and like they're not like the crazy thing is like some of the single player games. It's not like they're not like 8-hour experiences. They're like
Yeah.
50 to 60-hour
Yeah.
experiences, and then you have like certain games that are like for me it's like roguelikes and stuff, and I could sink in like 50 to 100 hours, and there's so much shit coming out, and I'm like, dude, no one really has time. But I was always wondering like what you guys had, and I was more surprised by like what Jack had. Like Jack had a ton of games, and it sounds like he has like regret to play, but like Jack's common denominator is mostly like really intense long single player games. Like The Witcher 3 is easily 100 hours.
Oh, for sure.
If you
yeah.
So the main campaign's
Minimum.
the main campaign's like 70 to 80. The first expansion I think is 10 to 20, and then Wine and Blood, which is one of the best expansions of all time, is like 60 hours. It is essentially
that's a
a
whole
new
game.
fucking it's a brand new game. And then it's like I think because we're reaching the end of the year, I don't know outside of Dragon Age. I'm trying to think like what's the next big title coming out. I think there's gonna be like a nice lull. I think. I'm trying to think.
Mhm. So we can catch up.
Dude, there's like so many games like I want to
Yeah.
kind of get into, but it's
I
like
Yeah.
difficult.
I feel like for me, it's been definitely the latter half of this year, like starting with Persona 3. I'm just like, because for me, I mean, you guys know, like, I like video games, but I'm not like one to really just like jump into all different ones I've never really heard of or things like that. So I usually stick to like ones I'm comfortable with. But I feel like for me, I've been having a lot of titles that I'm interested in, or they're getting sequels, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, why is this happening all at once? Those
Yeah,
for me
and
are-
like they're not. It's one of those things where sometimes they announce a game and then it's like 2 years down the line. But this year, for some reason, it's like their game like, and I like that. But they're like, hey, yeah, this game's like, you remember we talked about this game? We announced it like 2 years ago. I'm like, yeah, it's coming out in like 3 months. I'm like, shit, dude. Like,
You're like, hold on.
wait.
Yeah.
And then you have because Game Pass and PlayStation Plus like offer pretty much a lot of games for you to like to pick up and play. It's like now you have Black Ops 6, and if you want to play it, which I think it's obviously still very popular, but you also have all these other different games coming out. Like there's
Mhm.
a lot. Like me and Brad, we beat Space Marine 2, like the co-op campaign, and then they have like a bunch of free stuff with it, and that game's fantastic. But there's a lot of games like we picked up and played for a little bit and then quit. It's just there's just so much to play. Like it's crazy when I see people be like, "Well, I don't want there's nothing to play anymore." I'm like, dude, there's an entire
Yeah.
Plenty.
I think that's just people being super picky and like
being content
I
creators.
don't yeah, and just like not wanting to explore different options. Like I don't know. I think that's
it
such
is
a first world problem.
it is definitely a weird thing for me, especially when I see. I'm not saying you guys, but it's like content creators who are constantly saying shit like, "Well, man, there's nothing to play." I'm like, dude, you built your entire career off one game, like or a specific genre. Of course, you're not gonna be happy playing other games.
Mm-hmm.
You pinned yourself down. Like this is all you're known for. But like I think for me, because I've only done content for like a year and a half now, I'm like, I can get some variety, and I just can't like make videos for everything. I don't, I want to make a video for Card Shop Simulator.
You gotta play Balatro.
I've been playing that.
I do want to play Balatro.
I fucking love. Okay, that's actually like
just
my
bought that
guilty
on the Switch.
pleasure. I play
What's it
Balatro on my
called?
phone
Oh.
on Steam.
It's
I play Balatro on everything.
I know
How do you spell that?
BALATRO.
TRO.
Is
Balatro.
Balatro, is it on the
Balatro.
is it on the Play Store now?
Might be. I bought it.
Brad,
So-
Brad, you don't need any more fucking mobile games, dude.
No. So,
No. It's so fun. It's so great.
So Balatro, they actually allowed the developer was like, hey, there's this program you can use. You can actually take
Yeah.
the Steam version
Yeah.
and run it through this program and make it
Uh-huh.
an APK, and you can download it on your
Yeah,
phone.
yeah.
And it like runs natively on Android.
Oh shit.
I was
Yeah.
like, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, no, I remember hearing that. I just bought it off of the App Store,
Yeah,
honestly.
I
But
remember,
because I played enough, it's warranted.
Yeah, I remember my buddy Mikey. He was like, "Ken, have you played Balatro?" And I'm like, "I don't like playing card
It's
games,"
so fucking fun.
which is a
I don't
lie.
either.
Which is a lie.
It's a-
It's so different.
It's a
just-
roguelike
yeah,
poker
roguelike.
game.
Yeah, and the cool part is it's very like versatile. So it's
Mm.
like if you beat a run, you can send the seed to your friends to see if they can beat the same run, and then I shit on people for not beating it. I don't know. It's good.
like Wordle
yeah, basically.
with
cards.
with cards.
That shit taught me poker pretty well,
Oh god.
like poker hands.
Yeah, I feel like you can deal with our buddy Chris. Like Chris is a big poker guy. If you want to like gamble, Chris is that dude.
I started learning blackjack.
But, okay. all right.
I'm like pretty good at it.
I mean, it's 2 cards.
Hey, you'd be surprised. No,
Head.
you'd be very surprised.
Stay. Head.
Split.
Split.
Sir, ma'am, you are at 20. Head.
Hat. Ace.
I don't think you understand how this works. Head. Hit me. Hit me, you
Hit me.
bitch. All right.
Hit me.
All right. So that's gonna be that for the talking about the backlogs. Let's talk about what we're doing next. So
We're not.
I want to give Brad a mulligan. I do, because I didn't want to watch that fucking show.
That's fair.
So
Yeah.
Brad, and we're gonna talk about like some of the down the rabbit hole stuff. So I'm gonna give Brad like the opportunity to like pick some anime, but I do want to kind of bring this up because I put up in Discord. There's an anime called Orb on the Movements of the Earth. It's out on Netflix. That is probably one of the most grounded, unique shows I've ever seen because it's set in 15th century Poland and it's about heliocentrism and it goes against the church. It is quite possibly one of the most interesting anime I've watched since Vinland Saga, in terms of like the way it like works with philosophy and how grounded it is. And it's one of the few like anime you see that actually goes against like very dark topics.
Mhm.
I watched that first episode. I went back and read the entire manga. It's only like
Oh,
70
shit.
chapters.
Is it finished or is it still
Yeah, it's
ongoing?
finished.
Oh, okay.
I think they're doing the entire anime on Netflix. They're doing 20. It's 24 episodes. So
Mhm.
phenomenal. I love it. A lot of people.
What was it?
It's called Orb on the Movements of the Earth. It is very dark and it I'm serious. Like I fucking love that anime. There's also Dan.
Yeah,
Dan
that was
Dan.
actually gonna be my next
Oh,
suggestion.
so good. I
It's-
think one of the best openings
I've
I've heard.
Dan's on Crunchyroll
Everything.
and on
So
Netflix.
good. I know it's on. I watch it on
right.
Netflix. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this for Jack. Jack, there is a dub, and the dub is better than the sub, flat out.
Oh,
I'm
You
good.
think?
I'm dead serious. It is better.
Okay, I'll have to watch it.
I want you.
really do.
How many episodes have you watched, Chibi? Have you watched them?
I think like 2.
When you get to episode 4, watch the dub, and then there's a scene that you're gonna see where it's really funny,
Uh-huh.
and then I want you to switch like between sub and dub and look at the differences, and the dub is
Uh,
way better. The dub
yeah,
is
okay.
fantastic. So there's gonna be episode 5 is out tomorrow on Thursday.
Mm,
So you want to watch that, Brad? You want to Dan it in?
it's good.
It is.
I've had
so,
several people.
Just put it in our chat.
So
The first episode definitely was not my cup of tea.
Dan is fucking weird. Okay, there's
It's
a lot of
fucking
cool
weird.
shit,
Let's
but
preface that.
they have like the baddest granny in the business. Just point that out there, Granny Seiko. Yo, when you watch it, I'm telling you, Jack, go ahead and watch it. Like when you see it, you'll know, bro. Like you'll understand. You'll understand.
Yeah. Okay.
So Dan, when it first came out, I remember like I was looking at the panels and I was like, the art in this is some of the best I've ever seen. They have the author regularly does like double spreads of like some of like the bigger action scenes, and it's phenomenal. And they actually did, and I was very curious to see how the anime studio, I think they're called Science, how they were going to like adapt it, and they did an excellent job.
Mm.
I'm excited to see like what Jack says, because I think it's fun. It's
really good.
It's a lot of fun, dude. But yeah,
Banger opening, I'm telling you.
if you have
Okay.
if you have time, watch obviously you only have 5 episodes. Watch that, but also Orb.
Mm.
Okay.
It's dark, so you might like it. I mean, there. Oh wait, you know what? Not yet, Jack. I'm sorry. There's no dub for it. There's a lot of
Understand.
talking, a lot of philosophy.
A lot of
stuff like
talking,
that.
okay.
Yeah. So don't do it yet.
Not yet.
Perfect. And then
Don't we still have Mortal Kombat to cover?
Mortal Kombat to cover. Thank you, Jack. And then eventually, because Jack brought this up, Jack wants to watch the Minecraft movie when it comes out.
Oh,
So here's the thing. Brad brought up
Damn it, Jack.
Brad brought up a good point. I think when it comes out on DVD, what the fuck? Like digital, I'm sorry.
on stream or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Watch party.
Brad wants to do a watch party.
I'd
And
be
the
down.
plan is to see who can put up with the shit the longest. I say we do that for Borderlands.
Oh,
I
I'm
feel
down
like
for that.
I feel like I'll win this.
Who is renting Borderlands and then fucking watching it? I'm not renting it. I'm not putting
I'll
it on
buy
my
it.
Prime. You're gonna buy it?
Damn. this
If
motherfucker
you
said, "I'll
buy it, Brad, if you buy it, we will watch it and react to it.
I would be down.
I think we do
Yeah.
that instead of Mortal Kombat.
We should
I'll
do
do that.
reaction videos. I feel like that would be funny.
Okay.
We'll record our reactions
Yeah.
too
Yeah.
as we're going through the movie.
Okay. All right, Brad. So
I'm
buy
down
it.
for that.
Brad has to.
Brad's
Brad.
like,
God.
Brad picks the
Okay.
day. We all have to like agree on the day we're gonna do this,
Mhm.
and then we'll sit down and
Right
watch
now.
the movie.
What the fuck is it right now? Hello?
But that's all I got. Does anyone have anything they want to talk about before we end this podcast episode? Because I think Chibi, you had things to do. I don't want to hold you up.
You're fine. The store's closed. It's okay. Since Halloween's tomorrow and I am in a corporate office, I have to thank you, Red. I have to look in my closet and see if I have anything socially acceptable to wear.
Oh, what are you guys all gonna be? You guys doing anything?
That's what I'm saying. I have no idea.
I have a Sam costume from Trick or Treat.
Yeah, but oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, man, you're short as him too. Got him. All right,
Yeah.
that's gonna
Yeah.
be
Damn.
Exactly why I
It's
bought
that's
life-size-
that's gonna be
it's
the end of
life-
the episode. Shut up,
life-size
Jack.
costume.
it.
Can my face be the thumbnail of this?
No, it's gonna be Brad. Brad mostly because he froze, and then I'm literally gonna put like the games in the backlog behind him. All right, that's gonna do it for this episode. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Comment below if you have games in your backlog that you want to play. Jack has his. By the time this comes out on Friday, Jack will actually have his 24-hour stream.
Yep, my 24-hour stream starts at 2 a.m. Saturday.
2 a.m.
Let's
November
go,
2nd.
baby.
There'll be a lot of giveaways. I'll be
and-
giving away 2 desk mats, 2 jerseys,
And if
2 or 3 gift cards.
If you watch this in the future, that you happen to actually come across this, just go on his channel and watch the VOD. Right? It'll be a good time. You'll get to see him in like a nurse costume or something. I don't know.
Get off.
I don't know if we'll have that up. We'll see.
He's gonna shave his beard if he raises $10,000 or something. I don't know.
Oh, wait, is that
10,000.
I
mean,
That
I'll-
was me with
I'll
my
sh-
hair.
You were gonna. Oh,
I thought you
I've
should-
always said that for the past 3 years.
I did
said
shave
if
my beard
I ever
on
did
stream
10K.
last time. I shaved my beard, hitting 5,000,
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
I mean that. All right,
and I
That's like
did the maid
$25.
costume.
That was great.
All right. Oh, one last thing, Brad. When's the next stream? When's the
We need
end?
the
When's the
quarterly
end of the
stream.
When's the end of the year stream?
He said,
He had a little run going and then quit. Yeah.
I did. Yeah, it's.
He's gonna do his own 24-hour.
It's okay. I feel that.
You know what?
I
I'm
have
gonna
to
stream
reschedule
during your
mine.
stream.
Oh,
Do a little. Competitive
yeah.
That works. That works.
little
Just like, good
competition.
luck.
It's like you want to watch a bad stream, you want to watch Brad play a game and try to explain it.
play some Metal Gear Solid.
There you go.
Like he's gonna voice he'll voice roll every character through the VA. All right, fuck it. Thanks for watching, everybody.